Well, hello my beautiful Librans, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your twin flame reading. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, of course, I'm in a different location at this moment in time. I've gone to visit family members for a couple of weeks, but I will be back in my usual space after that. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Librans, this is your twin flame reading for those twins who are currently in separation. The first pile will be your pile, the second pile will be your person's pile, and the third pile is the unified energy of how things are going to come together, okay? Also, it's worth noting that if anyone is mentally, physically, or emotionally abusive, that is not a twin flame connection. That's more likely to be a false flame connection, and it really will drain you of your beautiful love and waste your wonderful time, okay? Now, of course, twin flames, they are here to awaken each other, to stand in their primal power and elevate into a higher consciousness so that you can move towards reunion. And the twin flame, it's more of a spiritual awakening rather than an actual physically romantic relationship. That's why it's a very challenging and difficult relationship to take. Now, of course, it does start off physical and romantic and all of those things, but it's more of a process that prepares us to release low vibrational energy that keeps us stuck in fear, addictive patterns, and unhealthy attachments. And it's a very intense inner vibrational transformation, but it is a personal journey of discovery. And one of the hardest things to fathom is that this journey of discovery must be done alone. That's why there tends to be a runner, a chaser, and a separation period. Now, it's not always typical to form, but the main dynamic tends to be a runner, a chaser, and a separation period. Now, this separation period has a purpose in order to encourage both parties to focus on their sense of purpose, their true north, their life's mission, because twin flames tend to have a mission in each lifetime, and of course, to learn more about unconditional love. Now, it is also worth noting that a twin flame dynamic is a mirrored experience. Both parties project feelings. So when you look at your twin, your twin is reflecting back to you all the things that you need to heal within yourself, and vice versa. So your twin is literally looking in a mirror of all the things that they've been running away from their whole life, things that they have been avoidant from, things that they, have locked off into a little box of privacy that they really don't want to look at themselves. They're avoidant. So this is a very challenging experience, and not everybody takes the twin flame journey in each lifetime because it is often very lonely. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there. So much love, my beautiful Librans. But it is very rewarding when you come together in union with your person. The twin flame journey is often, a formed sacred relationship that is a result of shared difficulty and pain. Both parties tend to have experienced some level of trauma or challenge or heartbreak before they even meet each other. And it is there that the healing needs to take place, because if you continue to just get on with life and pick yourself back up, but you haven't done the spiritual evolution work, you haven't done the healing, then it will be amplified in the twin flame connection to trigger each other in order to face it head on. You know, the chaser tends to be a little bit further on their spiritual path than the runner, and they're willing to surrender to the union, even though it's exposing and it can make you feel very vulnerable, opening up your heart to that depth of love. It's a very intense bond. But the runner, you know, unconditional love is not something that twin flames tend to experience often in their lifetime until they meet each other, okay? And the runner gets overwhelmed by the unconditional love, so they tend to not believe it, you know, because they feel that love leaves. So I'll check out what's going on with you and your twin flame dynamic, because if you have a person who's had a high level of trauma, loving a broken person is never easy, and it requires patience, deep understanding, and of course love so strong that it doesn't waver. And you offered that, my beautiful Librans. You offered that level of love. But this person that I feel like you are dealing with, they've got the Five of Pentacles already. There's a major abandonment issue here. And what I see is that they tend to push people away out of fear. And this fear keeps them stuck into believing that you'll disappear on them like everybody else. So they thought, in order to regain the power, because we have the Emperor there, which can be about maturing, but also it can be about being very strict and kind of like controlling things. It's like to retain their power is they walk away first, so that they are shielded from the potential of further abandonment. So it is a process that will repeat a cycle within their life until they really look at it and dissect it, okay? Now, this is on both sides. Twin flames tend to carry invisible scars. You know, they face battles that no one should ever have had to endure. And, you know, I feel that especially your person, they've got self-loathing there. They love you, don't get me wrong, because they've got the Lover's card, which this is how they feel about you. This is the pile that they have and how they feel about you. And the Lover's card indicates that they have a depth of love for you like no other. They know that you are their twin. But that Five of Pentacles is right there, which means they see themselves as unlovable. However, they are maturing. So they have the Emperor. The Emperor has shown up twice here. We've got an Eight of Pentacles, which means there's repair work going on here. So at least your twin is aware of what needs to be done. Okay, they are aware of what it is they need to look at. They need to look at consistency, is what I see there as well, because they're out of balance. They're out of alignment, this person. But we'll get to their energy now in a moment. I'm just going to pop that there, lock off the decks. We've got the Knight of Pentacles and we've got the Four of Wands. Oof, there's a reunion here, my beautiful Librans. Four of Wands is to reunite. It is to come together and, you know, meet each other halfway. So there could be a conversation taking accountability for actions coming up in your future. But what I gave you just now as I shuffle the cards was a bite-sized idea of what it means to be in a twin flame connection. I always explain it like magnets, both identical in polarities. There is that push and pull. You want to be together. Both of you are drawn to each other. It is a magnetic connection. However, there is a space in between because both polarities are identical. You know, the energy is the same. So that means there's no match until the vibrations change. And the only way to do that is to spiritually evolve and connect to your higher purpose. And if we say that this is the chaser magnet, as soon as the chaser stops reaching out to their person, messaging or thinking, easier said than done, I know, because it's all consuming, this relationship. And that's why all that energy, that devotion, that care, that focus needs to go inwards towards unconditional love for self and also onto your sense of purpose, you know, your true north. Then you change the vibration here within yourself. And of course, your person is going to come a little bit closer to you because the vibration has just changed, and it gives them an encouragement to either step up or step out of the union. So they are then thrust into the throes of focusing on their life's purpose, but also unconditional love themselves. And then they can come together in a union with you because they also change their vibrations so that both of you can match and have a sustainable relationship. Not a game, an energetic exchange, okay? That's what it's all about. So we have your first card there, which is the Sun card, okay? Illumination. You are having major awakenings here. This kind of gave you a bit of a rude awakening to some degree because the Sun card indicates you're trying to be really positive right now. You're out there shining your light. We got the Six of Wands. You're doing you. But I feel like you just wanted to be seen in this connection. You know, I feel there's an energy of you where you're like getting on with life, okay? The Strength card, you've had to be strong. And a lot of you have hope that you can heal this connection with your person. But I feel like you're not giving. You know, the Sun actually is a celestial body that radiates energy. You're a healer. You're a natural healer, okay? And this person, I feel like they may have come towards you for fixing at first. They didn't really understand the connection. But a true nature of a healer is there to trigger the person to stand alone in their healing, to be strong enough to summon the strength in order to identify what it is that needs to be healed. So often when you go towards someone, whether it's a teacher or a counselor, you go to someone for healing, they are there to kind of like poke things within you, trigger things within you so that you do the healing. They're just a guidance system. If you think about twin flames like that, you are a natural guidance system for your person to heal, but also they are the natural guidance system for you to heal as well. And I feel a lot of you are reaching for something greater in your life right now, and you're seeing things clearly. So a lot of you may be trying to understand the twin flame dynamic a little bit more. You may have even wondered, is this person really, truly your twin? Because you may wonder if twin flames actually exist. Well, they do, and I feel like the person you've connected to is your twin. But the Illumination card, the Sun, indicates that you are currently focusing on your own happiness, your own joy, and you're not allowing this connection to dull your shine. It's taken you a lot to get to this place in the first place. You're a very strong person, one tough cookie, and I feel like you had a very challenging journey to get to where you are right now. And, you know, the Sun card can indicate that you basically gave everything you had to give to this connection, and a lot of you got to the point where you were very exhausted, but now you're doing you. Now you're more focused on higher intention. You know, I feel there is this like deep bond, a psychic bond between you and your person. I feel like you can feel this person, you know. There's an undercurrent here of you kind of like feeling them, knowing them. You know, suddenly you will know when they're going to reach out. You can just energetically feel it. You are aware that it is an energetic exchange because this is all about your energy. I feel like you're regrouping at this time. A lot of you may have gone through a bit of an ego death with this relationship, which was very challenging indeed. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there, so much love, because of course we have another Sun there, and it's in the Strength card. So this indicates that you are building back the pieces of you. And, you know, it's a very challenging kind of concept, but when life breaks you, it's because you're ready to be put back differently. And every piece of you that is shattered is now finding a new place and a new meaning and a new purpose. And I feel that's where you're at right now. And I'm sending you, as I said, so much love because I feel how strong you are. The Strength card indicates that you are activating a deeper level of self-care at this time. But it did take you a long time to get to this place. And the Strength card can indicate as well that, you know, you are someone who is strong enough to stand alone. And one of the lessons that you've been learning is that your happiness is not tied up with another. So some of you, your twin may have exhibited codependency traits, or perhaps you've had experiences with codependent partners in the past and you had to break a cycle. That was your part of this twin flame dynamic there, okay? I feel a lot of you, you know, the process that you've been through, it is here that you realize that you're not broken, that you're someone who is stronger than you actually gave yourself credit for, and that you are kind of like reimagining your life right now, and almost like, you know, you have a lot of kind of like self cards, which is the catalyst for change with your person. Because remember, when that magnet puts all that care, love, devotion inwards and does not, you know, reach out towards their twin or focus on the twin flame dynamic, again, easier said than done, I absolutely know that. That is when you change the cycle of repeat. And I feel like you are focused on self right now, personal development and growth there. The Strength card indicates that you stand alone and you're not afraid to stand alone. So a lot of you, you know, you have gone through this intense period of growth. The Strength card is number 8 in the major arcanas. And of course, 8 is the number of the self. And you also have the 6 of Wands, which is all about the self. But this can indicate that deep, deep down, you do wish for healing and resolution in this connection, but ultimately you're doing you. You are forced into a position to just focus on your life. You don't want to move on without your twin, but I feel like you've got to a position where you're so fed up with the cycle of repeat, you're exhausted. To have this much energy, it means you've gathered the strength in order to move on. And that's really hard. You may have even tried to give yourself closure on this. But as you can see, we've got a little genie's lamp right there. So there is a small little wish as an undercurrent that you kind of like look back at the twin flame connection wondering, can we ever really see each other, really get clarity on this, really understand each other and move forward? Well, I feel like the answer is yes, because your 4 of Wands in your future is telling me that there is another opportunity where you and your person will see each other again. But right now, you're in the rite of passage period where the pause is on purpose. There is a natural separation period for twin flames. You know, even when you look at some famous people out there, and I'm not sure why I'm mentioning famous people, but I'm seeing in the water right now an image of an Oscar. You know, that trophy type thing that celebrities award themselves for greatness or something, for their talents. What I'm seeing is like this golden Oscar. I didn't know that the Oscar actually held a sword. Does it hold a sword? Because I'm seeing a sword there. I mean, so either you, my beautiful Librans, are like super famous or in the public eye and you're just holding it all together, even though deep down you've been breaking. You know, again, I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. If that's you, you know, it's really hard to have this kind of like public persona, I guess, and the private persona as well there, and you're trying to manage and balance the two. So if that's you, but it could be that, you know, on a more kind of grounded level, that you're trying to just get on with life, even though behind the scenes you're breaking. You're still showing up for work, you're still showing up for your family, your friends, but you know, it's you getting out there and moving on, but you're also not neglecting the healing process, okay? But because I'm seeing this Oscar in the water, I mean, 6 of Wands is an award kind of energy. So some of you are focusing on accolades, like you're putting yourself through certain tests, maybe learning more about yourself. Maybe that means that spiritually you're evolving and you're passing tests or you're being rewarded in some way. Maybe your person is in the public eye. I'm not really sure why I'm seeing that in the water, but there is a sword there. And the sword is all about truth, but it can also be about protection. You know, it's very guarded. That I've never really noticed that about an Oscar. I mean, I've seen the Oscars before, of course, on TV, but you know, I've never really like seen one up in like close, and I didn't realize they have a sword. So I'm gonna have to check that out. But yeah, they're holding sword, and it seems like it's like right down the center across the heart chakra there. So this could be symbolic. Maybe I'm being given this image symbolically that this person, you know, they have to learn about their value, because of course an Oscar is gold. Again, I don't know if it's real gold. You know, maybe it's painted, I don't know. But you know, I'm seeing it as gold in the water. So this can be that your person is learning more about value and you have learned more about valuing yourself. That's a lesson to learn in this connection, because I'm seeing like potentially, okay, now I'm seeing 2 Oscars. Okay, so I mean, if you are someone who is a performer or musician, I think it's only performers, actors who get Oscars. But maybe, you know, all the design team and the music and sound and like costume and all of those things, maybe it's connected. I'm not sure. I feel symbolically, I'm going to go with that it's more of this sense of value, and that you're passing tests in the rite of passage, that it's been a challenge, and that, both of you have been very guarded. And then you have to get to the root of why that is, present, and that why it's not moving forward. When you get to the root, then you can process it, heal it, and move on from it. For some of you, if you're questioning the twin flame dynamic as well, some of you may have wondered, was it all an act? But actually, no, I don't think so. This person, the Emperor, Five of Pentacles, they've got this wonderful bravado, but deep down, that Five of Pentacles indicates an abandonment issue. And because the Emperor is there, I would say this person had a very inconsistent masculine role model. Okay, so it could be an absent father, or it could be an absent masculine presence in their life. There's no excuses here. I'm not trying to give anyone a way out. Behavior is behavior, and if anyone has acted in a lower regard, then they need to take accountability for their actions. And I feel like this person will step up. I feel like this person doesn't want to be, the experience that they had when they were younger. I feel like they don't want to emulate it, but they have noticed that they have certain traits that they fall into. And I feel this person is looking at their choices. And with that Five of Pentacles, they regret their choices. That's what I see here. As they get older, this person is maturing and they regret their choices, their decisions, the path that they took with you. I feel like there is going to be a conversation in your future with this person about if they could do it all again, they would do it differently. That's what I'm feeling from your person. But the Six of Wands is like you're out there showing this person to some degree that, you're getting on with life. And actually, that is the perfect response to a twin flame connection, to get on with your sense of purpose. If you are on social media, it can be that they are seeing your social media like you're getting on with life, that you're having a glow up in life, that you're focusing on your successes, your projects. The Six of Wands is an influencer card. So some of you could literally be an influencer, but this is you being seen. Okay, and accomplishing a level of happiness within you, like true happiness within you that no one can ever take away. And I feel that's the true nature of spiritual evolution and personal growth in a twin flame connection. Okay, now your person, we have the Lover's card. So this is how they feel about you, okay? Looking at how you feel about them, I feel like they are magnetic. You're drawn to this person. They're attractive. There's something about them, okay? And I feel that you see this person as quite a strong person, but deep down you know that they have a vulnerability. You got in too deep. You got too close, and that's why this person, they kind of shut it down because they felt really exposed. And, if you think about the nature of an emperor, okay, an emperor has battled to get to a certain position in life. The emperor does not want anyone to know about the Five of Pentacles. The emperor cannot show, the weakness in front of people. The emperor has to maintain a certain level of command, and I feel that's what your person is exhibiting in life. It's like they've got this bravado, or it could be like if they were bullied when they were younger, for example, they decided that they had to present this very strong persona in later life in order to make sure that no one ever overstepped a mark again, that they were strong, okay? And I feel this person, though, you located a vulnerability. You were someone who got in deep, under their skin. And that Lover's card indicates this person loves you. There is feelings there, but they made certain choices based on their fears and their abandonment issues, because that's what the Five of Pentacles means. They struggle with an abandonment issue. And, we've got the sun and the moon here, and you're exhibiting the sun energy. So you give a lot of yourself. You have so much passion and joie de vivre. And this person, the moon energy, it's like they cannot shine all by themselves. They feel like they are not enough. If you think about the two celestial bodies, the sun shines all by itself. It radiates and doesn't need any other entity. And this person sees that you do not need them. The moon is a very needy energy. That's why I was talking about codependency earlier. The moon cannot shine all by itself. You know, it requires the sun. This person needs you to a certain degree, and they don't like that feeling within themselves. And their lesson to learn in this twin flame dynamic is to shine all by themselves, to know that they are enough. Okay? So part of your twin flame felt that they could not match what you had to offer, or they felt like they were not enough to maintain and sustain the relationship, and that in time you would discover their weakness, or you would discover things about them that they felt you would walk away from. Because that is a wound right there. That is them feeling like they want to be in love, but their deepest fear is for someone to walk away. So in order to remain in control, because of course the Emperor is a control card, you know, in order to remain in control of their emotions and their feelings, best thing to do is to remove themselves. They walk away, even though they love. So this is a very conflicted person, because I feel like they've ended up hurting themselves there. But as you can see, we've got these two beautiful leopards there together. Okay, so it's almost like this person has been hurt in the past. They've learned that love leaves. And I feel even from a very young age, this is not just something they've experienced in a relationship. This is something that they've experienced from the very foundation of themselves. I feel like they've got a trust issue, because I feel they had an absent parent or guardian that cheated and came in and out of the relationship. And they saw what it did to their parent or guardian that they lived with. That's what I'm seeing here right now. And they promised themselves that they'd never get into that situation. But I feel like they have had a relationship where it did happen to them. And that, of course, created a wound where they just felt, well, love always ends up like this, because that's what I witnessed when I was younger. And it happened to them as well. So they were like, no, I'm not going to do this. So I feel this person does ask, can leopards truly change their spots? And you've not given them any cause for concern there, but their fear took over, their personal narrative. This person's lost in a past narrative, and they have to realize that their past is their past. And anything that they witnessed with their parents or guardians, that was their narrative, that was their story, not theirs. So this person has to go through a period of reprogramming to learn that what they witnessed when they were younger, that was something that unhealed people were trying to deal with, and it was passed on to them as a generational wound. And they need to, and that's very hard to do, they need to be the person who stops that generational wound there, okay? Now, I'm just going to pull a card on that Five of Pentacles, because there's a lot of regret that goes with that card, okay? I feel like this person is disappointed with the way things went down. There's a sadness in this person, a despair. I feel like they have been the victim of a hardship, or we've got the Queen of Pentacles there. Just going to see what the clarifying card with that Queen of Pentacles is. Okay, so we've got a Knight of Wands. Yeah, this person, they basically connected to a player. That's what I'm seeing here. We've got the Knight of Wands, we got the Strength card, and we got the Wheel of Fortune. So what I'm seeing here, Queen of Pentacles, I feel like they were in a high-level commitment. They thought about settling down with a person, okay, before they met you. I wanted to see what this Five of Pentacles is. So they were meant to meet a karmic. They were meant to meet someone who basically taught them about value. The Queen of Pentacles is all about value. That's what this tells me. This is a person that, with that Knight of Wands energy, this is inconsistent. This is someone who's here today, gone tomorrow. So I feel this person invested in something that they thought was maintainable, sustainable. And the Strength card, you know, they've had to be strong, just like you. So whatever this was, but more than anything, I feel this is, I'm being given a matriarchal type figure with this Queen of Pentacles energy. So I feel this is something that they witnessed with their parent or guardian, and they thought love is destined to always be this way because the Wheel of Fortune is there. So it's like they realized that their fate was always meant to be like this, but it's not. And I feel you were there to teach them that it's not, but they just didn't trust it. Okay, I feel the Wheel of Fortune is like when you were ushered into their life, their fate changed, but their fear remained. So I feel they're trying to like have a gear shift and get out of that right now. But in their maturity, I feel like they're realizing that they're controlling things. You know, if you look at these two cards, it's like the abandonment issue, their fear controls. And I feel this person needs to look at more balance and identify the root cause, which I feel is from childhood. And once this person faces that head on, which they are doing, because the Emperor energy indicates, you know, they're going to conquer a fear. They're going to, you know, make sure that this doesn't have a hold on them for much longer. The Emperor energy is the outcome card, so that tells me there is a breakthrough with this person. Your person is maturing and they regret how they acted in this connection based on their fears. Now, of course, you, my beautiful Librans, a lot of you, there is this deep-rooted wish that they can heal and come together to you in a better energy, but actions speak louder than words. And you're not about to rush into this just because they come back into your life. I do see that they will try and reunite with you because the Emperor is leading and they got the Emperor card. This is an initiation card, so I feel they're going to take the initiative to actually reach out to you and kind of like, the message they're going to send to you is that they are either receiving counseling or that they are doing some sort of repair work. I definitely see with that Eight of Pentacles, this person is working on themselves. So that's a great move towards reunion. And you did get the Four of Wands there as well, which means you and this person will see each other again. It's not just conversation. You will be in front of each other again, is what I'm seeing there. And I feel both of you will mature into this relationship where there is the potential for it to be sustainable. But of course, the Emperor energy indicates there has to be accountability. There has to be respect. There has to be, you know, a look at the father figure lineage dynamic is what I'm seeing there. And both of you may understand that, or maybe this person actually told you about their experiences when they were younger, but I feel this person is going to lead. They're going to step up. They're going to initiate a conversation, a dialogue, in order to bring you both back together, okay? Now, the Eight of Pentacles is also crossing this. Eight of Pentacles is to repair. So I feel, yes, it's going to be hard work, but the mature part of this person is recognizing that they got themselves into a cycle of repeats, because the Eight of Pentacles can be a habit, but it's also commitment. So I feel this person is committed to change. We've got the Knight of Pentacles there. As you can see, it's slow moving, but there is investment, and Hamza hand is there. You know, we have a hand with an eye on it, which means this person is trying to protect themselves, so it will be slow moving, but there will be a proper move towards investment in a relationship. I feel you and your person can grow from this, but it is going to be a process. You know, as you can see on this Eight of Pentacles, we've got that crescent moon there. Interesting that they have this crescent energy over them. So there's a lot of cathartic energy, a lot of processing emotions. This person is going to be very sensitive and open up to you. And they're going to give you their truth. And this Eight of Pentacles, you know, 8, as I mentioned, is the self. So I feel this person is working on themselves at this time. I feel that they're very close to breaking through and facing a wound head on. Now, of course, right now you may be like, well, how is that going to affect you? You're not here just to wait for your person. I always say, do not wait for your twin, because it can take a long time. But because you're out there focusing on yourself right now, you're forcing your twin to also look at themselves on a deeper level and do the repair work. And here is where their empowerment lies, so they can step up. The Knight of Pentacles indicates an offering. It will be a slow moving process, but they will offer something a little bit more solid and secure. And I feel that what they're giving you first is their honesty. They're determined to win you back, this person, but they're also determined to prove that they are faithful. But they want you to be aware that they have a fear, you know, and the fear manifested in need, this codependency. But with this Four of Wands energy, it tells me that, you know, there is a reunion happening here, okay? The Four of Wands is an energy of coming back together. If you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, two figures join each other in harmony and they celebrate, okay? And it basically means that you and your person are reaching a milestone in your relationship where you're coming back together and saying, look, things have been disruptive, things have been chaotic, out of control, and I really want to be with you. I want to make it work. I've been stuck in a rut. I'm going to, you know, move through this. I'm determined to make it work. And I feel this person does not want to give up on the relationship. And deep down, looking at the energy, nor do you, but you need to see action rather than just words. And your person is coming towards you in action. So this Four of Wands indicates healing will bring reunion to this connection. As you can see, there's loads of beautiful stars there. And I feel that this person will reach out. I don't see you initiating. Okay, I actually see that you already did that. I feel like you gave to this connection, you sent messages, and I felt in this energy at the beginning that, you know, you did everything you could to try and save this connection. And that's why you felt really bereft, and you've like picked yourself back up and you're doing life and doing things for you at this time. And your person is repairing, and I feel both of you come together in a different level of maturity and see things differently, but also take accountability for actions, words. And I feel this particular twin flame dynamic that I'm tapping into, both of you can get to a place where the relationship is sustainable. Moving in with each other or getting back together is something I see in this connection, okay? So I'm just going to go and get some final cards before I close your reading. So your first card there is our connection is complicated right now, and I do agree with that. The Five of Pentacles is still present in their energy, which means the wound has not been fully healed, but they're identifying it. So they're in the repair energy, and in your future, you will see this person again, okay? Oh, I gotta go get that card. One moment, please. My guys want me to go one more, so, okay, there we go. So I'm just going to show you these cards first and then go and get that card. It's face down, so I can't see what it says. But it says, our connection is complicated right now. And it's because they've got the Lover's card there, which means they love you and they're trying to understand their feelings. And as they mature, they recognize that they made some bad choices. And, you know, pride is something that has to be broken down. Because if this person has done something or they have not acted according to their highest self, you know, this person regrets, because the Five of Pentacles is to regret. So it can be that it's really hard to then come towards you with an apology or come towards you trying to make it right when they have to really face the facts that, you know, their actions have consequences. So they have to really override their sense of pride in order to acknowledge that they perhaps did something wrong. You know, there's no real wrong or right about a situation, but, you know, if you're struggling with something, you cannot tear another person down in your own struggle, but often people who've had levels of trauma do, and they don't mean to, but it happens. So, you know, humans are very complex. Things are not just black and white. That's just life, you know. I'm not here to give anyone a way out or an excuse or take anyone's side. You know, people make decisions based on their resources or their feelings in that moment. They can have knee-jerk reactions or unhealed responses. And I feel that's what this person had. I've also got, I don't feel ready for a commitment. I mean, looking at the energy, I feel your person is not ready for a commitment right now. They know that they have feelings for you. They are maturing. They are going to take accountability. The 8 as your outcome energy indicates a singular energy. It's all about the self in this rite of passage moment. But that rite of passage will come together. And, you know, that Four of Wands says you will reunite. And there will be a face-to-face discussion. There will be a milestone in your relationship. So in your future, not in the next 6 weeks, but in your future, I do see you coming together. We've got, I denied my feelings, and I feel this person really did deny their feelings because they were afraid. They have that abandonment wound there. And we've also got, I need courage to face my feelings. Yeah. That's why the Strength card came out for them. They need that courage to face things head on. And as they mature, they will do that. But, you know, you're not here to be picked up and put down whenever your twin feels like it, my beautiful Librans. You have to make a decision by yourself as to whether you want to really connect to this in your future. In divine timing, you will always be brought back together to make a decision as to whether it is make or break, okay? So I'm just going to go get that card. One moment, please. Sorry about that, my beautiful Librans. Your final card is, I need to work on my shadows. And this person needs to work on that abandonment issue, okay? And we've discussed that already, so these cards are just confirming what I saw in the energy and in the reading there. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune before we close. Okay, so we have a handcuff that is open and it says freedom. Okay, so this is your person freeing themselves up from their past narrative. This is them, you know, unlocking the next stage, but they've been kind of like tied to this experience for some time, and it's hard to break free from a cycle of repeat, but they will. And we also have, this is supposed to be a daisy, so a fresh new start, okay? But what I'm hearing right now is they love me not. They love me, they love me not. They love me, they love me not. They love me. Okay, so this is something, they love me not. They love me, they love me not. They love me. Oh my gosh, I just saw that. I just wanted to count the petals to see if it went with what I just heard. And yeah, it is perfect alignment there. So I feel this person is coming to terms with the fact that you do love them. And it is unconditional love, and that you wanted to be by their side. And I feel this person will override and free themselves from this fear. And I feel you can come together in your future. So it's not now, but it's not never, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I'll leave it there. And thank you so much, my beautiful Librans, and love and light.